October 27th, 2015. Guys, this is an update on the last video. Again, some scientists are saying the incoming object is an asteroid. Some are saying that it's not an asteroid, it's a metallic object, possibly man-made. They're not sure. We're going to go through some of that information, but what you're looking at is eyes on the solar system. Now, they say the orbit goes from inside the Earth's satellite band, which is about 22,400 miles up, to 2 times the distance of the moon. And they think, if it's the same object they've seen before, that it orbits every 22 days. Pretty fast orbit. But they can't see it every time. They catch it every couple of years. Some say it goes back to 2010, some 2011, some 2012. In that time period, one of the, again, the last time it was spotted before October 2nd, this time was November 29th, 2013. But again, the orbit is very unusual, and they don't understand why. Why would it go out 2 times the distance from the moon, come back to the Earth? Why would it not be pulled into the Earth if it's one of the artificial satellites that orbit the Earth and eventually collide back into our atmosphere after years? Why would it be out there? The object is predicted to strike the Earth about 11:49 p.m. local time, or 1:19 p.m. CST. Now, this is UTC time, guys. This is about 6 a.m. in the morning. It is expected to burn up in the atmosphere, with whatever is left plunging into the ocean about 65 miles off the southern coast of Sri Lanka. Scientists said they don't expect the object to cause any damage, but it could create an impressive fiery display. The object's origin are unknown, but scientists said it could be quite old, possibly even dated to the Apollo era of the 60s and 70s. Now, one estimate is that it's very small. Notice in the top right, 1 to 2 meters, up to about 7 feet. But again, it's very far away, and they only have 3 images of radar that I'm going to show you at the end of the video. History shows us that there have been objects that are small, that fly, that are spaceships. Egyptian top right. Look at the different instruments, from the helicopter in the middle to the different type of craft all the way through this imaging. In the fresco, ancient fresco of Christ at crucifixion, these 2 images are in the top left. In the top is the one fleeing to the right as it appears, in the bottom in the left, in both sides of Christ. That would be about the same size. And then the Mayan legend, Pakal. This is obviously a spacecraft. It's been looked at too many times, but notice the dragon at the top of it. Again, this size. It's been studied very well. It's on the tomb of Pakal's tomb. He is said that in legend that he's coming back. In ancient India, look as they look up into the clouds at this flying object, and the people standing on what appears to be clouds, even with wings. In Istanbul, bottom left, ancient rocket ship. That's a model. If you pause that, you can see the boots, the spaceship, everything, hands on the steering wheel. This size object has been around. Now, scientists have worked out that WT-1190F will plunge to Earth above the Indian Ocean on November 13th, making it one of the very few space objects whose impacts can be accurately predicted. Most unusual still, WT-1190F was a lost piece of space debris orbiting far beyond the moon, ignored and unidentified before being glimpsed by a telescope, again in October 2nd. This is information you can pause any of it and read it. Catalina Sky caught it this time out of University of Arizona in Tucson. They are aimed at discovering asteroids and comets that swing close to the Earth. At first, scientists didn't know what to make of this weird body, but they quickly computed its trajectory after collecting further observations and unearthing 2012 and 2013 sightings from telescope archives. Now, Bill Gray, who's a software developer with JPL, he is tracking this at JPL in Pasadena, California. It has a highly elliptical orbit, swinging out twice as far as the Earth-Moon distance, 2LD. Says Gray's calculations show it will hit the Earth at 6:20 UTC time, again, November 13th. 65 kilometers off the southern tip of Sri Lanka. They're agreeing on this. Much of it, if not all of it, could burn up in the atmosphere. Again, we're comparing two different sets of information. Listen, what they're doing with this, if you read between the lines a little, is they're going to use it as a practice to track and defend the Earth from incoming asteroids. The U.S. military, which tracks space debris, says that it lacks the ability to identify this object or to predict its path. Now, it's been even designated a NORAD number of 96,000. Remember the video? These are the frames. This object's right in the middle. We've seen these radar images before, tracking 2012 DA-14 and other asteroids. What you're seeing are stars in the background in the exposed time frame. That's the only thing we have. This shows the orbit, and that on this particular orbit is the one that will collide with Earth. The moon will be on the other side. Notice that as it's coming in. And close up at this image. This is very pixelated. We cannot get any detail from it, only the movement. This is where they're saying this is coming out into, again, 65 kilometers offshore. At these speeds and at this distance and the very few sightings, guys, it really concerns me of the accuracy of this. If then they're deciding that this object will come in, enter the atmosphere, burn up at its present trajectory. We will see. It's a heads up. Be safe.